children, been divorced twice. I've practiced family law for about 18 years. And one of the reasons that I'm involved in this fight, like everyone else, is because I saw an injustice and I tried to address it. As an attorney, I saw that, frankly, I thought that we're treated as fairly in court. And as when, it's difficult to say fair, but you know fair when you see it. And what happens when either party is treated unfairly is that the family is hurt. If you get a bad decision, if the father gets everything he wants, or not everything he wants, if you give what you think, everything the father wants, custody 100% of the time, never has to pay anything, you cut the child off from the mother, then that hurts. That hurts. It hurts the child. And if it hurts the child, it hurts the family. I never saw the interest of the father, and the interest of the mother, and the interest of the children is different. To me, they're a family. They may not be together, but they're a family. And if you hurt the child, you hurt the family. If you hurt the father, my sister's a minister, and she had a lesson the other day. She's, God's plan was to put us down here, and he was and made us populate, and he used the family as the backbone. And he put, according to my sister, it's kind of hard to call her pastor, but according to my sister, he's the head of the household. And so I'm like, so you can't hurt the head and not hurt the family. You can't hurt the woman and not hurt the family. You can't hurt the child. When I talk to judges and I say, well, this is what he wants, this is what she wants, my approach was always, this is what the family needs. So when I saw that need, I hadn't had my own divorce yet, then I had my own divorce. And I was treated so unfairly, I was like, wow. And I'm an attorney, an experienced attorney, 25 years doing this. I come to court, I'm prepared, I got my ducks in a row, the other attorney doesn't, and I lose. I didn't lose. My children lost. My family lost. She lost. She doesn't think she lost. She's got a lot of money. But in the end, if you got a lot of money and you don't know how to spend it, then you end up being poor. It's like you hit the lottery and then 5 years later you're poor. Same thing happened. But I'm supporting her. Even though she took all my money, and now when she needs something, I still go over there and help her. You know why? Because the family's important. I put all that to the side, and that's why I got involved in this fight. And I called my organization Protecting American Families, because to me, that's what this is all about. 50-50 custody. And what some of the other people they try to say is this is a father's rights. We're only worried about the fathers. I said, no, this is 50-50 custody because we're worried about the family. To me, you cannot come to court and talk about, and call yourself an attorney, and talk about one person's interest, although to me it's difficult to call. If I wanted to go to the club and spend all my money, that's not an interest. That's a want. It's a crazy one. That's not an interest. My interest is in the family. My interest is if I need my money to take care of my mortgage payment, this is not my mortgage payment. It's the mortgage payment that I use to take care of the family, my children, and even my ex-wife when she comes by to visit. Because when the children are with me, she'll come by. Even though we've gone through all that, she can still come by. Because to me, what's most important is that at the end of the day, the family's together, and the family's okay. But what the courts taught me to do, they taught me to come to court and beat up on the other side. Beat up on the other side. Say is the craziest, mean things I could think of. And that's what these laws are about. 50-50 custody is about coming to court and not having to fight over 50-50. I don't have to say how poor a person she is when she's really not a poor person. I think she's a good parent. I'm a good parent too. So let's just start this conversation off at 50-50. That's what all these organizations are about. The name of my organization is Protect American Families. The name of Jeremy's organization is Father's Rights. The name of Linda's organization is Missouri for Shared Parenting. Right?
Right.
Are there any other organizations here represented?
Well, I'm also representing National Parents Organization.
National Parents Organization. All of our organizations have one goal, and it's the family. It's not the father. It's not the mother. And it's not the children. I think I like what Mark said. Mark said a lot about where we should go in terms of our plans. I can tell you that the Father's Rights Movement, I'm also on the board, the National Board of the Father's Rights Movement, and a lot of what you said, they have in place. They really do have in place. They are hard-working bunch. They got the signs, and they have the systems in place. They have the corporate structure in place. And so to me, if you're going to help, I think you could reach out to some of these organizations. And I mean, we don't really need much. I think Mark had it right. It's a national movement, but it's going to be done locally.
Yeah.
It's a national movement, but it's going to be accomplished locally. So that means you're going to need a core group of members in Missouri to get these things done. Right now, it seems to be me, Linda, Mark, and a few others. To the extent that you can help, I just say reach out. I like these rallies, not because we get a whole bunch of people in that don't know anything about our cause. It gives us the opportunity to come together, look at each other's faces, because it's hard sometimes when you get down to Cape and say hi to Linda, or go over to Bentonville and say hi to Angela. But this forces us to come together, and talk to each other, look each other in the face, because as this movement gets going, even if we were to get 50-50 custody passed, the fight's not over. It's never over. I mean, really, our organizations like these, we're going to have to be around pretty much forever. Because the way we got into this mess, I tell you as an attorney, the way we got into this mess is we didn't have these organizations pushing. Clearly what had happened a while back, going over the history of how we got here, just real briefly. We got here because, there were men who were abusing women. There were men who were sports entertainers, and rich people who, once they got married, once the woman got old, they went and got another 28-year-old wife and left their children. There were a few people like that. And that became the narrative. And then you had certain groups that got together and pushed legislation. They pushed legislation knowing that some children, some fathers would kind of be caught up in the wash. They knew it. If you read, I've read the articles from the 60s and 70s, and a lot of these people knew that you were going to hurt some children along the way. They knew child support was going to hurt some children along the way. They knew that because there was a story about a guy who was a prisoner of war. Came back, gave him the Purple Heart, and arrested him for child support the next day.
Oh my gosh.
Okay? And this is when this legislation was pending. Okay? They knew it. I mean, we're not making new arguments. We really aren't. But we weren't organized. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have what we have now. We didn't have Facebook, Twitter. We didn't have the ability to come together. But now that we've come together, we can make those same arguments again. Because it's amazing when I read that story back in the 70s. This guy came, well, the 70s, he's a prisoner back, and they arrested him for child support. I'm like, how can you pay child support when you're a prisoner of war? Right? How can you mispay? How can you just can't do it? But they didn't care. They arrested him, and they knew these kinds of things would happen. But they are so convinced that the child support system as it exists helps so many more children. If you read the federal child support website, they pat themselves on the back. They are evaluated based on how much money they collect, not based on whether the orders that they enter or enforce are fair. Strictly based on how much money they collect. So if your goal is just to collect the most money possible, you're going to hurt those who can't make the payments. Right? Yep. Right. If you have men out there, I'm speaking plainly, if you have men out there who have abandoned their children and beat their children, and you create a law to address that, but you don't have evidentiary hearings before you take the children, or when every man walks in the court, all seen as that kind of person, then what you've done is you've literally thrown the baby out, the children out of the bath. And that's where we are now. So I wanted to say thank you. I want to tell everybody, the organizations that we're here, I want to acknowledge all the organizations that we're here. I want to say thank you to Angela for putting this together. And Thank you for listening to me.
Will you read it?
Oh, yeah. We have one of our.
We have a microphone.
Oh, we got a mic.
So she sent a letter to be read to everybody here.
Okay, can you all hear me now?
You might cry.
Huh? No, is it working?
We have a microphone. Okay, as Linda indicated, we have an email from one of the most helpful state representatives here in New York City. Her name is Kathy Swan, right? And she couldn't be here today, but she sent an email and she wanted it read out to the crowd. Okay, and it reads, "Good afternoon. I'm sorry that I'm unable to be with you today personally. Thank you for your hard work on shared parenting. 2 years ago, when Linda Russell visited with me about this issue, I could not have imagined the numbers of divorced fathers who seldom see their children. Fathers placed in this situation through no fault of their own, but due to the actions of our Missouri court system. We discovered that outcomes of some family courts throughout the state are consistent by judge or geography rather than in the best interest of the child. Obviously, the most important factor in this important decision is the desire, fitness, and willingness of both parents, not a court default. Whether a court default is simply easier than working through a parenting plan, or whether it is bias against fathers, we already know that it is in the best interest to spend time with both parents. Therefore, we have worked to eliminate the default of one night a week and every other weekend for fathers. Let me repeat that. Therefore, we have worked to eliminate the default of one night a week and every other weekend for fathers. This common sense assumption is born out of fairness and a recognition that each family situation is different. In the best interest of the child, both parents and court must be willing to invest time and effort in creating a parenting plan that fits the needs of each child, father and mother. For much too long, courts have divorced fathers from their children. Let me repeat. For much too long, courts have divorced fathers from their children. This must change. Thank you for your passion and persistence in our effort.